Hello, this is me, Si, doing SciCast 2. Still playing with these names, not entirely sure what works. And it's been 2 weeks since the last one, so it feels like a good time to kind of get back into this again. A couple of things I want to kind of talk about. I want to try and find a little bit of a format here as well. I also threw out the idea to my Twitter sphere, the idea of asking questions. I'm open to suggestions here, right? This is something I feel like I want to do, and I think there might be some market for this, there might be some interest, but I won't know until I hear anything back. So I noticed a few people favourite and hot and like the previous episode, but please get in touch. I like to know if it's actually making an if you're engaging, if you find this interesting, you want to know something else, you think it's a waste of time, just send me some feedback. If I don't get that, I don't know if it's worth continuing with this stuff. So yeah, please just get in touch on Twitter @Si. You all know who I am there. A few logistics things on this as well. I've now set up a proper podcast feed using a website called podsync.net. And all that's doing is taking the YouTube videos that I produce and converting that into an MP4 RSS feed. So you can subscribe to that now. It's on my website, sijoblin.com/podcast. It needs a little bit of work, but again, this is just like a work in progress. I'm trying to just get things done quickly in my sort of Kanban, quick JFDI mindset. The audio stream still needs some work as well, so it's purely video at the moment, and then we'll work out a backlog of audio for the future as well. One thing I do want to area I thought, you know what, let's get away from the tech. What am I enjoying at the moment as well? Nothing to do with gadgets, nothing to do with work. What am I enjoying? And I guess anyone who's on Netflix has probably seen Ozark by now. It is brilliant. It is so gritty, and I love the tone of it. I love the fact it's set in modern day, and they use modern day sort of things and life about social media and all that sort of stuff. It's a classic gangster sort of plot, but I think Jason Bateman plays the character really well. He's not as what's the word? Not as relatable as normal, but you can still understand where he's trying to come from. It's a little bit more edgy to what he normally plays. One of my other guilty pleasures is Arrested Development. So I think it's like something from the noughties. He definitely looks a lot younger in that. And I've been enjoying just the occasional burst of Arrested Development. I mean, it's just stupidity, but quite easy to watch. Anyway, Ozark, if you're not watching it yet, try it. It is worth a punt. In the music side of things, as you know, I'm all into my dance music. The Glitterbox Disco's Revenge compilation comes out today, Friday. And I guess I've been all over this. They've been producing a podcast for probably about 26 weeks now. The format's amazing, and the music they bring to the table is right on what I'm into. It's a mixture of classic disco, soul, classic house music, some new stuff. It's a really great podcast. Highly recommend you subscribe to that. Just get a flavour of what it's all about. But this compilation sounds amazing. It's just a real good mix of classic edits, remixes, very subtly done, and some new stuff that's coming out as well. So again, bang that on your playlist if you get the chance. It's going to be available in all those classic stores, iTunes, Amazon Play, blah blah blah. Give it a shot. So that's what stuff I'm into at the moment. Every couple of weeks I'll try and refresh that with some other new things for people to actually get into. This week, the week just gone, we announced the new ASOS web community for October the 18th. It's Wednesday night. Starts at 6:30 as always. Doors open, and speakers start at 7 PM prompt. We need to try and get a bit more punctual on our promptness there. We've got 3 brilliant speakers lined up again. A good variety of tech and design, and just the working habits of those two industries. We've managed to get Rob Manuel in to talk about making silly Twitter bots. This is the guy that's created stuff like Swear Clock, Clickbait Bot, Yoko Ono Bot, all these sort of funny bots. And all he's doing is satisfying an itch of his own, of playing around with comedy, automation, bots, language, all these sort of things. I met him a few weeks back actually, just to understand what he could talk about, and his mind is amazing. It'll be a fantastic talk, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that one. We've also got a ex-ASOS engineer coming back. He's been out in Japan for the last year, I believe, and he's coming back to talk about the culture divide between East and West tech, working in these different environments, and a few lessons learned from all those stories he's got as well. So that should be interesting. He's such an entertaining guy. So again, brilliant speaker. And we've also got Sarah Tan, lady, coming in from Ada College. She's going to be talking about the kind of bridge between finding, getting tech to work alongside business needs, how it all plugs together, all those sort of challenges as well. It should be fascinating, and she's very prevalent in the women in tech circuit. So we're really keen to try and address this in our ASOS web communities. We know we've been really bad so far at only lining up men speakers. So, you know, this is our move to try and resolve this. On that note, if you are watching, you are a lady of tech and you would like to speak at an ASOS web community, please do get in touch. We really want to find interesting speakers to come in and talk to our audience about, you know, the things that you're doing. Just get in touch. You know, we're really keen to sort of address this, and we know it's something that is very hot, something that's very important to a lot of people. Yeah, so there we go. So there you go, 18th of October. Tickets are available on Eventbrite, so snap that up before they all go. We'll have loads of normal stuff, free local pizza from a local pizza place called Ico. We've even got some beers lined up from a local brewery, a local community brewery called St Mary's Brewery. It's going to be a great night, and it'll be amazing to see you there. Unfortunately, I won't be able to be there, but I'm still hoping to arrange this. I've got family commitments that I can't get away from, but yeah, there'll be plenty of ASOS representatives there, and I'd love to get some feedback from this as well. Last week as well, I've got more prompts here. I managed to get my hands on a Monzo current account. Yes, I'm in. I got the invites, I got the email, registered, did all the security mechanisms, all that sort of stuff, and the card arrived within 3 days. I was absolutely blown away. I was like, that's a fantastic turnaround. Classic Monzo, looking after the customers. In comparison, in the same week, we had some fraud activity on our Barclaycard account. So we recorded that. We called them on a Saturday evening, and the following Saturday we managed to get a letter saying, thank you for your inquiry, please fill in this form. How they differentiate these new and old finance monsters, you just think, how can Barclaycard and all these legacy old banks compete with the now demanding customers of today? They want instant gratification, Instagram, instant everything, instant notifications. We're getting reactions. We got in Monzo, you got in-app chat, so you know you're going to get a response within minutes, not hours, days, weeks. And I do fear for the future of the big banks and how they're going to compete with the new guys like Monzo. As I say, it was a brilliant experience. I did sort of record the sign-up process, but there's too much security stuff going on there, so it's not something I can really share. But it's fascinating the fact they actually use real-world identification, such as driving licenses and passports, and then actually supplement that with selfie verification. So they ask you to record a message with your front-facing camera, and then they use that to just tie it all together. There's obviously some machine learning going on in the background to take that face recognition, plug it into your identification, and make sure that all works together. There might be a bit of manual intervention at points, but I got the response within minutes, really, that was all good. The one thing I have noticed, because it's still private beta mode, there's no current account switcher available yet. I asked them straight away, I was like, oh, what's the plan with this? They said it's on the backlog, it's not something we've got ready yet, but it's definitely something we need to do, and obviously legally they need to as well. For me, it was something I actually noticed straight away because I've realised I've got quite a lot of direct debits set up for everyday stuff, like bills and PayPal as well for pay after delivery. So I had to manually go through that. It's a nice opportunity to cleanse it though. It's a reality check to go through and go, actually, I don't need that direct debit, or I didn't realise that one was still active. I'm going to get rid of that one as well. So there is that benefit of manually taking you through it. And the other thing I did notice actually, when you do certain direct debits or you set them up, you sometimes get like a deposit to activate and verify. At least with Monzo, I got that like that. It was literally, I was doing PayPal verification, I had the app open, it pushed in the notification to say, there you go, you've got a deposit from PayPal. If that was a normal bank, I could be waiting hours, even days to see that. So it's nice that I had that online instant support to do that. But I've yet to use it properly yet. So basically I'm waiting for payday to kick in this weekend, which will make that deposit straight to my account, and then I can start using it. I didn't want to start playing around with it and weird sort of offset times of direct debits and stuff like that. So the true success of it we'll find out next month, I guess, and I'll make sure that I do touch on that later on in the podcast. Something I'm also quite keen to play around with is a visualization of all my finance. It's quite easy to get into a habit of just leaving direct debits, and what I do like about Monzo is the goals and the targets that you can set on a monthly basis. But what I want to really see is, well, how does that look on a bigger picture? How does it look over a year? How does it look over 5 years? I know a lot of the customers won't be in that boat, but for someone like myself in the mid-30s that have been spending habits for 20 odd years, I want to understand how I'm spending things, where my money's going, and see how the balance changes as well, and if there's some common patterns I need to keep an eye on. And I guess machine learning can come into this. There's another app on the market called Tandem that can do this stuff for you. I was a little bit reluctant to play with that actually because one, Monzo's not supported. Second, my other bank, they basically ask you to fill in all your login details and it's stored locally on your device, which was a big flag for me. And I'm sure it's secure and they've done all the sort of data protection laws around this, but I felt a little bit, even myself, someone who's quite tech aware and frivolous at times, putting in my bank details to a third-party app on my phone that I don't really know and trust yet, that stopped me from continuing. I'd be amazed to see the conversion rate on this Tandem, to see how far people get on that. It's a great experience, lovely design, really well they've got a bit of conversational UI in there to get you engaged. Beautiful little design and sign up registration, but that point to actually provide bank details was a little bit of a whoa moment for me. Anyway, finance is all good at the moment, and I'm really keen to see how Monzo evolve over the next year when they start rolling out current accounts to the masses. They're doing really well. I heard a number the other week that there's around 450,000 active customers on their prepaid accounts. They're obviously rolling out the current accounts slowly but surely, and that seems to be going okay. And we are actually speaking to them about potentially doing a meetup in the new year, merging ASOS and Monzo into some sort of shared meetup. Watch this space, very early days, and we're just trying to work out the logistics of how that might work. The last thing I really want to talk about actually is Amazon's tech. Last podcast was about Apple, this time it's about Amazon. Who's next? Basically, they had their announcement yesterday of all their new tech. No no e-readers, which was surprising, but a hell of a lot of Echoes and Dots and Alexas all over the place in various shapes and forms. I'm quite intrigued about the new designs they've introduced actually. They've realised that the current design doesn't fit everyone's decor. You can see for me, for example, we don't do modern, we do sort of classic sort of styles. A little black or grey dot in this room would look out of place, but I like the idea they've introduced like the wooden effects looks and the materials as well. It's one way I can actually try and convince my wife that we can play around with something. I'm still waiting for that eureka moment though to say that is a killer app for me. That is why I'd use Alexa or Amazon. We do have a Prime account, purely for deliveries and video, but I don't necessarily do the search stuff. I don't do on demand. I need some washing up liquid, I need some powder or whatever it is, or toilet roll, panic mode stuff. I'm not into that yet. What I'm curious about is Google Home, and I think that would be more useful to me as a Google user. They've got all my email history for the last sort of 12 years, so they've learned all about me there, my search history, all the other things that I've got going on in Google. That is information that I could probably find quite useful, whether I can actually put that to application, and maps as well. That's the one I'm more interested about from a software perspective. And I know I'm a big Apple fanboy, as I talked about last. Siri is rubbish. There's no way would I trust Apple to try and get me, buy me something online. I don't do Apple Music. I just don't find the need for that at the moment. And I don't do Apple TV. So the need for that sort of talking machine to help me through my day, there's no need for it at the moment. So yeah, I mean, Amazon has got some potential. Obviously, they're pushing it really hard and in different shapes and forms. I'm not sold though, and I guess if I got one for a gift or a sort of a trial, there may be some opportunities to play around with it. But it's not something I'm really keen to go, I need one of them in my life. So that's pretty much for this episode. I'm going to wrap it up there, and maybe next time I'll talk a little bit more about some stuff I've been learning about lean and about management skills. Some of the stuff I've been learning this year as well, following the talk I gave at Agile Northampton the other week. And again, just get in touch, let me know what you want to hear about. If you want to ask some questions, I might even think about doing an actual interview with someone, and see if that conversation is a bit more useful to a podcast rather than me talking at you. So yeah, get in touch if you want to talk, have a chat. Ask some questions, fire away, and let me know if this is still actually satisfying any of you out there. Take it easy.